What's up, YouTube? This your boy, bigboyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I'm gonna give you guys my WWE WrestleMania 38 preview and predictions for Night 1 and Night 2. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications every time I premiere a brand new video, and also go follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. Let's go over WrestleMania 38 Night 1 and Night 2 preview and predictions. The biggest weekend of the year in professional wrestling draws near with the two-night WrestleMania 38 going down Saturday and Sunday from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. As expected from WrestleMania, almost all of WWE top stars will be in action. That includes both women champions who will be defending their titles during night one of the event. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch is set to defend her title against Bianca Bellaire, while Charlotte Flair will put her SmackDown Women's title on the line against Ronda Rousey. Plus, social media star Logan Paul is set to team up with The Miz when they take on Rey and Dominic Mysterio in a tag team action. The sides have been feuding for weeks with Logan Paul and The Miz getting the upper hand on the Mysterios when the four interact, and a surprise guest is waiting for Seth Rollins when he gets his long-awaited match at WrestleMania 38 against an opponent still not announced yet. The first night of the event is expected to end with Stone Cold Steve Austin returning to WrestleMania 38 to appear on the Kevin Owens show, a confrontation that is almost guaranteed to end violence. All right, excuse me. Let's take a closer look at who our CBS Sports experts predict will come out on top at night one of WWE WrestleMania 38, which begins at 8 p.m. and stream live on Peacock following a kickoff show 1 hour early. Our expert predictions for night 2 will be pushed on Friday, so make sure to keep an eye out. 2022 WrestleMania 38 Night 1 predictions. Alright, so we get Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. I don't even care about this match. But I do pick Drew McIntyre to beat Happy Corbin. Alright. A feud with Corbin and Madcap Moss that has stretched on for months is of course a large step back from previous WrestleMania for McIntyre. Still, it's obvious WWE still sees him as a guy who belongs in the main event. So the Corbin rivalry has been a way to keep the Scot on television until it's time to be evaluated again. Corbin has become a heel who can be solid in anywhere, lose the big blow off match, and just move on to antagonizing another babyface. There is no reason for McIntyre to take the loss here. Sorry, so I picked Drew McIntyre. The entire build to McIntyre versus Corbin revolves around Corbin's sneak attacks and unwillingness to meet McIntyre head on. The payoff is simple. McIntyre finally puts a whooping on his foe. McIntyre should be featured in a rivalry with greater stakes. Hopefully a rivalry one side win over Corbin set McIntyre up for a big run post. WrestleMania 38, I picked Drew McIntyre to be Happy Corbin. Alright, like I said earlier, but let's move on. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. I don't see Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs winning the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, but I got the Usos retaining the SmackDown Tag Team Champions at WrestleMania 38, so I picked the Usos to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Alright, this could obviously slide in as a standard face go over at WrestleMania 38 match. That said, I don't know that Nakamura and Rick Boots are the ones who end the Usos' lengthy run as champions. Nakamura and Rick Boots are in at WWE seems to like, but it's hard to ignore that Nakamura had a recent 182-day run with the Intercontinental Championship and only defended the belt once between winning and losing the title. Picked the Usos to retain the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Alright. The Usos have been a for fundamental component of SmackDown as record setting SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Excuse me, alongside records setting Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Based on recent booking, the WWE seems to believe in Rick Boots despite that team's presentation as somewhat of a comedy act. Nakamura is also coming off a recent Intercontinental title run and could be seen a veritable tag team champion. One could make the argument that a more Joseph's tag team should have been built to dethrone Jay and Jimmy Uso, but something tells me WWE makes the switch on Saturday. So I picked the Usos to retain the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. That's all I gotta say. The New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Okay, I had to take a sip of my water. But anyway, let's continue. Big E fractured neck is an unfortunate shadow over this match, but likely has no impact on the booking for who wins. It'd be easy to say the presence of Butch at ringside would tilt a scale the direction of Sheamus and Holland, but WrestleMania 38 is generally about feel good moments and putting the fan favorite team over in a otherwise meaningless mid card match. It's a good play to continue the transition. So I picked the New Day, which is going to be a solid match, solid tag team match. But I picked the New Day. WWE is working towards a New Day reunion and a six-man tag team match. Unfortunately, Big E suffered a terrible neck injury weeks ago on SmackDown. Is recovering from a broken neck. Between Big E's injury, the sloppy inclusion of Butch, and the New Day reunion angle, all signs point to a fan-friendly victory for Kingston and Woods. So the New Day is going to beat Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Let's move on. The Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. I got the Mysterios winning against the Miz and Logan Paul. Because Logan Paul is not helping the company. Logan Paul is not helping the company. And that's all I gotta say. I gotta put this out there. For those of you that agree with me, sign her up down below in the comment section. That Logan Paul is not helping with the company. That's all I gotta say. Let me read this. Generally, it's a safe bet that a celebrity gets the win in these sports. But Logan Paul is an extremely unlikable person. And he added Miz and stealing Rey Mysterio's mask. Those two factors should be enough to say the Mysterios get the win. I expected the match to be fine because WWE is good in laying out matches for celebrities where you think, wow, he really can wrestle, but this should be all Mysterios. So I picked the Mysterios to win against Logan Paul and The Miz. So Rey and Dominic Mysterio. But let's move on. There is no reality in the sprawling multiverse of cruel enough to subject WWE fans to a Logan Paul victory at WrestleMania 38. Rey Mysterio is one of pro wrestling and sports entertainment's excuse me, most indoor good guys. The Miz and Logan Paul are easily dislikable for a father-son tandem that should leave WrestleMania 38 with their hands raised. I picked the Mysterios. And that's all I gotta say. All right, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, and I already knew that WrestleMania 38, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, that match is going to happen, and I got Cody Rhodes beating Seth Rollins. That's all I gotta say. That's my prediction right there. I got Cody Rhodes beating Seth Rollins. But if Cody Rhodes comes out as Stardust, the entire wrestling community, like myself, will be pissed off. I don't want to see Cody Rhodes as Stardust. That's going to be god awful. I just have to put that out there. But I got Cody Rhodes beating Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 38. The only surprise here would be if Rollins' mystery opponent is not a returning Cody Rhodes. It will be through with that in mind. There should be no mystery on the winner. The worst thing they could do is bringing Rhodes back after this time on their and dies as a founding part of AEW would be for him to lose that night. He returns to the promotion. This should be a no banner. Cody Rhodes is going to be Seth Rollins. That's exactly what I pick. And I'm going to stick with Cody Rhodes beating Seth Rollins. Fans will be deeply disappointed if WWE pulls a bait and switch failing to produce former AEW exclusive Vice President Cody Rhodes have built himself into a serious player since wiping off the Stardust face paint in 2016. Cody Rhodes has molded himself into a character that is believed as a top play in WWE. It is paramount that WWE gives Cody Rhodes the nod over Rollins. It will terribly stifle Rhodes' momentum to debut and lose, but more importantly, this is an opportunity for WWE to show disgruntled members of the AEW roster that they can succeed in the WWE pick and see in WWE. So I picked Cody Rhodes to beat Seth Rollins, like I said earlier. So we get the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belaire. Now Bianca Belaire and Becky Lynch had one of the best feuds in WWE. So in my prediction, I have to say this. Yeah. Okay. I love Becky Lynch, but in my prediction, I gotta go with Bianca Belaire to beat Becky Lynch to become your new Raw Women's Champion. That's all I gotta say. So I'm picking Bianca Belaire to beat Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Champion. There's really no way for WWE to make good on having Becky Lynch beat Bianca Belaire in a matter of seconds at SummerSlam. That said, the only justifiable conclusion to Bianca Belaire's story would be to win back the title on the big stage. Anything less will be pretty awful. It also wouldn't hurt Becky Lynch to leave television for a bit and retool her to her on-screen character because she lost a lot of magic that had made her such a force in the past. So I picked Bianca Belaire to become your new Raw Women's Champion. So I picked Bianca Belaire. Alright. Bianca Belaire was robbed of a serious championship run at the expense of a returning Becky Lynch. Big time Bex hasn't quite recaptured the feverish fandom of her pure babyface run as the man. Bianca Belaire redemption over a villainous Becky Lynch is the perfect conclusion to a rivalry that has preceded since SummerSlam in August. So I picked Bianca Belaire to win the Raw Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. Alright, let's move on. Let me take a sip of my water before I continue. There we go. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. This one is easy. And I already predicted this. Charlotte Flair is going to drop the SmackDown Women's Championship to Ronda Rousey. So I pick Ronda Rousey to win the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. Ronda Rousey's return to WWE has not been the smashing success many expected, and to be fair, much of it is that the entire story of Flair versus Ronda Rousey has been a complete flop. The fans also aren't exactly behind Ronda Rousey these days. Still, it's hard to see any way this match doesn't end with Ronda Rousey hand raised and a championship wrap around her waist once again. So I picked Ronda Rousey to beat Charlotte Flair to become the new SmackDown Women's Championship has to go to Ronda Rousey. So Ronda Rousey is going to take the title off of Charlotte Flair, and that's all I got to say. Alright, Ronda Rousey recently made a triumphant return at the Royal Rumble in January. Excuse me, and immediately entered a top program against Charlotte Flair. Do not expect the company to help her momentum now. Flair will make a strong showing of herself, but when it's all said and done, Ronda Rousey will emerge as the new SmackDown Women's Champion. And that's all I gotta say. So I picked Ronda Rousey to beat Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Champion. And that's all I gotta say from there. But yeah, let me move on to night 2. Alright, let's move on to night 2. It says, let's move on to night 2. Alright, the second night of this weekend's 2 night WrestleMania night 2 WrestleMania, the second night of this week's 2 nights WrestleMania 38 from AT&T Stadium in Alton, Oregon, Texas, featuring what WWE is billing as the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, as WWE Champion Brock Lesnar clashed with the Universal Champion Roman Reigns to unify the 2 world titles. But the match between Lesnar and Reigns is not the only major clash on Sunday event. The card features celebrities, champions of clash between Hall of Fame level talent. Let's take a closer look at our CBS Sports experts predict will come out on top at night 2 of WrestleMania 38, which begins at 8 p.m. on Sunday and streams live on Peacock. Follow a kickoff show 1 hour early. You can check out our predictions for night 1 of WrestleMania here. 2022 WWE WrestleMania 38 night 2. So we get Women's Tag Team Champions, Fatal 4-Way match, Queen Selena, and I said Fatal 4-Way. Women's Tag Team Champions, Queen Selena and Carmella versus Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan and Natalya and Shayna Baszler. So I got that right. So it's between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley and Sasha Banks and Sasha Banks and I said Sasha Banks and Naomi and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. And my pick, I gotta go with Sasha Banks and Naomi. So that's my pick. But let me read this. While this is certainly a collection of thrown together teams chasing after a title that Selena and Carmella won in November and have only defended once in January, it's nice to see more people get their chance to participate in WrestleMania. Selena and Carmella act has been run into the ground, with every match coming down to Carmella being distracted by Corey Graves at ringside. Because now that they have a YouTube reality show, their relationship suddenly matters on the screen. That means the most likely moves are earlier. WWE keeps the teams strap up to promote the show, or they move on by splitting the team and having them feud. I'll go with the latter, latter and a choice for Sasha Banks and Naomi to play champions. So I picked Sasha Banks and Naomi to become your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Those are my two picks right there. Sasha Banks and Naomi to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. That's all I gotta say. All right. The the 4-way match for the titles came together. New tag teams were formed week after week in order to fill out the match. The stronger player, both in terms of name, value, and momentum, are clearly Sasha Banks and Naomi. They were the first duo to campaign for the title shot, and they should leave Sunday with the gold around their waist. So I picked Sasha Banks and Naomi to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Let's move on. We got Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. This match is a bathroom break for me. But celebrities are always going to win. I had to go with Johnny Knoxville. Even though I'm not going to care about this match, I got to go with Johnny Knoxville. WWE is very good at working celebrities through a match. Aside from Tyson Fury, it's hard to remember any recent celebrity matches that haven't led to a big wow. Can you believe it? Reactions with that in mind. Expected Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville to be a fun ride while it lasts. Excuse me. Sami Zayn Sami Zayn exactly the right kind of heel to lose this match and have that loss be a benefit and building him up. Sami Zayn thrives on being wrong or embarrassed and losing to a stunt joke guy fits right in. The undoubtedly the right move to have Johnny Knoxville get the win over Sami Zayn. So I got Johnny Knoxville beating Sami Zayn, which is a false count anywhere match. I ain't gonna care. Let's move on. You will hope that WWE would not go so far as to have a quality superstar like Sami Zayn take an L for star Johnny Knoxville. The no disqualification stipulation should present opportunities for runs and fun stunts from other stars from the film franchise. Excuse me. At present, Johnny Knoxville has not entered himself to the roster, and Sami Zayn is not any other feuds. So a superstar run, it seems unlikely. Maybe WWE surprised everyone with a fun cameo to add Johnny Knoxville, but Sami Zayn really should win this. Sami Zayn is not beating Johnny Knoxville. The cast is going to help Johnny Knoxville get the win over Sami Zayn. I can already see the cast is going to get involved, and the cast going to help Johnny Knoxville beat Sami Zayn. So I picked Johnny Knoxville beat Sami Zayn by the help of the cast of you know what. Let's move on. Bobby Lashley versus Omos. This was random. This was a random match right here. Nobody wants to see Bobby Lashley versus Omos. So Omos has been undefeated, but at the same time, I gotta go with Bobby Lashley. I got to go with the almighty Bobby Lashley. So let's read this. WWE has booked themselves into something of a no-win situation here. Bobby Lashley is returning from several months on the sidelines, and his return should result in a win. Owens has been unstoppable in a single star that Aura takes a massive hit when he suffered his first loss. So where do you go? Thank Lashley momentum on his return or cut Omos Monster Hill run off at the knees. If there's any out there, any out here, it may be in finding the cheapest way for Lashley to lose, which could come down to MVP turning on him and moving on to managing Omos. That would be benefit the monster by giving him someone who can work the mic and attend the program with Lashley for a while. So people are picking. So I'm just gonna stick to my prediction. I got Bobby Lashley beating Omos at WrestleMania 38. That's all I gotta say. WWE obviously has high hopes for Omos, but he's still at work in progress. It's believable enough to give him wins over meaningful opponents. Like AJ Styles, consider the size difference. He won't have that benefit against fellow heavyweight heavyweight Lashley. The Almighty is coming off a recent WWE champion regaining has a winning MMA record in months of 4 days. Having almost go over would be a disaster advice that to Lashley, but that doesn't mean the former basketball player can't look good en route to a loss. So I picked Bobby Lashley. Let's move on. Pac McAfee versus Austin Theory. Man, this is going to be very predictable. So I got, if I was lying, I would have picked Pac McAfee to win. But it looks like I got to go with Austin Theory. Pac McAfee has shown that he can wrestle shockingly well in multiple matches in NXT. Theory is a talented wrestler, but he isn't exactly Adam Cole. So it wouldn't be surprising if this were a minor step down overall for those past McAfee matches. Still, WWE has fully brought in on Theory from having him taking under Vince McMahon's win in a spot in the Elimination Chamber, and now a feature WrestleMania spot. That should mean a win for a guy who will be wrestling every Monday night. So Austin Theory, this one is tough. The outcome's gonna be tough, but I gotta go with Austin Theory. Now I gotta go with Austin Theory on this one, but I could be wrong. But I'm just going to stick with my gut. I just got to go with Austin Theory. McAfee is so beloved by fans. It's hard to see him losing to Austin Theory. Excuse me, but who has plenty of time in his career to recover from a loss to a pro athlete turn commentator. McAfee proved he has wrestled chop in a pair of matches with Adam Cole that defy expectations. Maybe the promotion is building towards a longer program involving McMahon, who is expected to be in Theory's corner, and McAfee. But assuming that's not the case, I pick McAfee to win. So I'm just gonna stick with my gut. I gotta go with Austin Theory. I don't see Pac McAfee beating Austin Theory, but I could be wrong. But on my prediction, I'm gonna have to go with Austin Theory. Let's move on. Raw Tag Team Champions: RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. In my pick, I gotta go with the Street Profits to become your new Raw Tag Team Champions. All right. The talk since RK Bro began their run has been that Randy Orton and Matt Riddle will have to split and feud. That's probably true given that WWE loves to split up tag teams as entertainment as RK Bro. It's an act. You get the sense that WWE is getting antes to break them up for a least entertaining feud. That Orton has come to fully embrace Riddle as being his friend. It's possibly he signed the team is doomed. Losing the title on the big stage could certainly kick off that story. The Alpha Academy are the more entertaining teams to run for as champions. So pick Alpha Academy to win the titles. Nope, I gotta go with the Street Profits. You know, I gotta go with the Street Profits to win the Raw Tag Team Champions. That's all I gotta say. Alpha Academy should have been for afford the opportunity for a longer Raw Tag Team title run, but Orton and Riddle were quick to claim their crown as a conquerors as a sequence. They will likely leave WrestleMania 38 as champions while continuing to build in a to an inevitable split a few. Our pick RK Bro to retain the Raw Tag Team titles, but I gotta finesse this. I got the Street Profits to become your next Raw Tag Team champion, so I picked the Street Profits. All right, let's move on. Edge versus AJ Styles. This is going to be a good match right here. This match is going to be good. Excuse me. I'll take another sip of my water. There we go. Edge versus AJ Styles. This match is going to be good. The Edge were seen dropping promos straight out of a late 1990s. That has been the low point of Edge returns. Edge return. WWE has largely followed the same pattern with Edge rivalry since his return, stretching things out over a string of 2 or 3 matches. With that in mind, it's unlikely that the story between AJ Styles and Edge ends with just one match. Even it managed to steal the show at WrestleMania 38. With that in mind, it may make more sense for Edge to take the win. So I got Edge beating AJ Styles. But if I was wrong, I would have picked AJ Styles to win. But this match is going to be good, but the outcome is tough. So, I got Edge beating AJ Styles. That's just my prediction, but I could be wrong. But I pick Edge. This one is a toss-up. Edge has pulled most of the weight in building this rivalry. An argument can be made that Styles should get the rub from Edge, but the Radio R superstar could benefit from the momentum as well. Taking a look at my other predictions for WrestleMania Night 1, a villain needs to come out on top. I side with Edge hesitantly, but I'm rather confident that this will be the match of the night. So I got Edge beating AJ Styles, which that match will be the match of the night. But I got Edge beating AJ Styles at WrestleMania 38. And lastly but not least, I was waiting for this match right here. Title of the WWE Champion Brock Lesnar versus the Universal Champion, the head of the table, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. All right, now this one right here, hear me out. For those of you that's watching, hear me out. This one right here, I'm picking Roman Reigns to beat Brock Lesnar. So Roman Reigns is going to hold the Universal Champion and the WWE Champion. My pick is Roman Reigns. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar winning both belts. How would y'all feel if you would have saw Brock Lesnar holding the Universal Champion and the WWE Champion? How would you guys feel down below in the comments? But without being said, I got Roman Reigns beating Brock Lesnar. So Roman Reigns is going to hold the Universal Champion and the WWE Champion. So Brock Lesnar, you better acknowledge Roman Reigns. I pick Roman Reigns. I almost said Brock Lesnar, but thank God I didn't. So I had to correct myself. I'm going with the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, to win the unified Universal Champion and WWE Champion. That's all I gotta say. Given that Lesnar is 2-0 against Reigns in WrestleMania 38 man event. Excuse me. It certainly will make sense for Reigns to get the win here. It's just like his cousin Dwayne finally get his win over Steve Austin in their third WrestleMania clash. Still, my bias is over overdealing logic. The Reigns champion regains is completely stalled out. The momentum was gone months and months ago, and no amount of Reigns cutting the same stale promo is fixing it. The only way to get his momentum back is to end his run as the unbeatable champion. Roman Reigns can get his win over Lesnar down the road and inevitable for fourth Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 38 main event. Pick Brock Lesnar unifies the titles. But I'm not picking Brock Lesnar. I'm picking the tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns to beat Brock Lesnar, become your unified titles, which is the WWE champion and the Universal champion. So I got to go with Roman Reigns. I'm pretty sure everybody down below in the comment section going to agree with me. This is very much a toss up. A case can be made for either Main to leave WrestleMania as undisputed champions. Lesnar is the most believable threat to Reigns' record-setting run is overdue for payback. Reigns is a full-time performer for WWE on the best run of his career. Despite moments of staleness, WWE should build the contender that can really benefit from their throwing Reigns. That contender is nowhere in sight. While that may evoke more confidence in Lesnar, I hope that WWE sees the value in keeping Reigns on top as they build towards new challengers. So I pick Roman Reigns win the unify the titles. And that's all I got to say from there. But anyway, let me know down below in the comment section, what are your predictions for WrestleMania 38 for night 1 and night 2? Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Alright. Anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE WrestleMania 38 preview predictions, please drop a like on this video. Comment down below what are your predictions for WrestleMania 38 for night 1 and night 2. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell every time I premiere a brand new video, and follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And I will see you next on my WWE SmackDown review and highlights. This your boy, Big Boy Facts JonnyTV. I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys on my WWE SmackDown review and highlights. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I will do my WrestleMania 38. I will do my WrestleMania 38 night 1 review and highlights. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for that too as well. But anyway, this your boy, Big Boy Facts JonnyTV. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I'm out of here. Peace out, guys.